going, my Cryptopians? Back for here for the first episode, really, of the RCO scam alert, and we're going to start off with, and go straight into it. Our first one is AusCoin. There's a few things here that I wanted to point you out at, and the reason why we're doing this ASAP is because I just realised 2 days until ICO starts, so just want to inform as many people as I can. Essentially what I've picked up here is a few things. AusCoin asking for 40 million to raise from investors. They had a secret seed round which raised 500,000 that they didn't tell anyone about. The initial coins for AusCoin was projected at 50 million, but they minted an extra 13 million and didn't say anything. 1,200 plus ATMs to be installed. I'm sure that was to be in Australia, but they do have plans to roll out international. Those 1,200 ATMs plus will only cost about 15 million. The other 25 million has not been accounted for. In the ICO webpage for AusCoin, it states that the AusCoin will be primarily used for distribution of the transaction fees or won by the ATM network. So essentially the AusCoin token will be used as a guarantee, so you must hold them for 10,000 or more AusCoin. Let me make you understand this in a little bit of a clearer fashion. Alright, so from 1,200 ATMs, they're projecting a weekly income of 84 million. It could be wrong, it could be a year, but it could be weekly. 1,200 ATMs, 10,000 per day. Let's do the calculations on that one. I said $10,000 a day across 1,200 and something ATMs. I don't even know where they got their calculations from. Let's double check this.
How? $10,000 per ATM per day. This amounts to a whopping $84 million per week. 1% of all
Okay, so they're projecting to make, which it doesn't even make sense. 1,200 and something ATMs, $10,000 a day is not $84 million a week. We just calculated it to about no more than, say, 15 million if they have 1,260 ATMs. So $84 million per week is what the ATMs will make. Who makes that money? Then 1% of the transaction fees, 1% of all transaction fees are split up into 3 parts. 50% goes back into AusCoin, and they say as it goes back into AusCoin to support the structure and to help build it globally. 25% goes to reward for holders of minimum 10,000 AusCoin. That 25% is distributed to them, and they also receive a discount in purchase price of Bitcoin from the ATM. Then you have 25% reserved for the users using the gateway, which will allow them to pay bills, mortgages, etc. Coming from Australia, I can almost guarantee you the Australian government will not let AusCoin come in and directly take the Australian fiat currency out of the equation. What I'm wondering is, where the fuck is the other 99% of the transaction fee going? Because essentially, only 1% of the transaction fees are being distributed on 3 parts. There's no accountability for the other 99% of the transaction fee. So if the transaction fee is $10,000, well, say even better, if the transaction fee is $100, but 1% of that is $1. So you're going to distribute $1 into 3 parts, 50 cents going to AusCoin, 25 cents going to the holders of 10,000 minimum, so say that's 25 holders, they get 1 cent each, and then another 25 cents reserved for people to pay their mortgage. I don't even see how that works out. But let's just say it's, $1 million. They still have, what are we looking at there? $1,000? 100? Please, this does not make sense. So the other issue I have now is AusCoin uses an ERC20 token. But how does the ERC20 token interact with their BTC network? ERC20 Ethereum based tokens on an Ethereum blockchain, so unless they're working the ERC, unless they're working, it doesn't even make sense. They would have to use some sort of side chain to merge them all together in order to run their own blockchain, which I guarantee they don't have, because their developers just recently left stating that their goals didn't align. You would be really silly to get into AusCoin. The fact that the white paper just does not add up, and when we go see the technology at number 5, if you take a read of it, it just does not make sense. They try to, I guess, be a bit cool about it, but at the end of the day, really, there's nothing solid there. It's built on ERC20, enables AusCoin to work with most Ethereum wallets, backed by the power of Ethereum network. Transactions happen quickly with low transfer fees. Holders of AusCoin are able to use. It's standard. They've just copy and pasted some stuff there from the Ethereum website regarding ERC and just applied themselves to it. Future expansion plans for AusCoin include subject to regulatory approval. Now, you're not going to get transaction cards because at the moment everyone sees giving cryptos transactions. So look guys, there's no GitHub either to suggest that they even working on their own blockchain that would allow merging between blockchains for the transaction fees to actually add up between all cryptocurrencies, if it makes sense. That's pretty much the reason why I'd say stay away from AusCoin. I think this is automatically $25 million is unaccounted for after the ICO. That's not even going into waiting for them to distribute 1,200 ATMs and waiting for $10,000 to go through per day on each ATM. I don't know how they can see that going. Surely Australia can't sustain $10,000 into Bitcoin ATMs per day, for the next 10 years. So guys, look, if you've got any queries or anything like that, leave them down below. We are Cryptopians in this Cryptopia world, and it's important that we all stick together. Leave any comments down below. If you like the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. There will be more ICO scam alerts coming out for you. There are much more in the works. I hope you've enjoyed this first episode.